Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you so much for calling in. What is your name?
Megan.
Megan. Which Megan?
I know, you probably get confused.
I know it's Megan now because I recognize your voice, even though I lied and said that I'm horrible with voices, which I am.
Yeah. Kaiden B quotes Megan.
Yeah. So did you have a question, comments?
I wanted to bring up something that I have issues with right now. My life is pretty difficult right now. I'm in a relationship with a guy, and I don't feel like he's treated me right. I don't feel like he's being completely honest with me. And I want to break up with him. But he has suicidal tendencies, and he gets depressed extremely easy. And it's weird because I go into a relationship and I have no idea about that, and I always end up dating people like that. I accepted it's never gotten this bad, and I'm just afraid if I break up with him, he's gonna go and kill himself. And he knows that. Oh, sorry. He knows that I'm thinking about breaking up with him because we talked about this earlier, and he told me that he feels like he's failed me, and every relationship he tries, it's a disaster, and he's not good enough for anybody, and I don't really know what to do about going about breaking up with him because I've been in a similar situation. I know what it feels like, and I'd never want to put anybody through that kind of pain,
I know, but I swear in another life I would be a counselor because I just
you'd be a really good one.
Well, thank you. Now, with this situation, it goes back to what I usually talk about, which is honesty. And you have to question the fact whether or not he is being honest to the full extent. And in turn, are you being honest? And what is it that makes you want to break up with him? I'll ask you that question.
Well, it's basically what I said before, and he also does things that really annoy me, and I don't feel like
an overall breach in that sort of connection between you two then.
Yeah. I don't feel like he loves me as much as he says he does. And I think he mostly just wants me for his...
You want that in return, though. Are you in love with him?
Not really, not anymore.
Well, then there's your answer. And you have to know, you have to move on in that sense. Now, suicide is a very tricky subject matter, to put frankly. He needs to get some help. And
yeah, I know.
The problem with that is that it's so fragile because when you get help, oftentimes you get empty advice and empty help, and that only furthers the destruction. And I know how that is. And the advice that I would give is to have this conversation with them. That's what I always tell people when they come to me with problems and they say, well, my girlfriend, said this and this and this, and what should I tell her? I'm in this situation. Should I say this or that? What should I do? And I say, the one person that you should be talking with, not that I mind helping, but the one person you should be talking with is your partner. And you should be voicing everything, because that is the one person who should be able to understand you and connect with you at that level. Because if you can't connect and talk honestly and openly with the one person that you're dating, the one person, because I believe that if you're dating, you date in order to advance and further it. Even though you might not go out to a movie on a Friday night and think, oh, I'm going to marry this person in a year, it does eventually lead to the prospects of that. So if this is a person that you potentially are going to spend the rest of your life with, please do not spend the rest of your life with someone that you cannot communicate with. Semi-off topic, I was driving home today, and I saw in my rearview mirror a couple, and the wife was dancing and moving her arms and having fun and listening to music, and the husband was just sitting there stone-faced, and he looked very embarrassed to be sitting next to her. Now, immediately I would say to those people, you should not have been together, because the freedom that the woman shares, she should be sharing with someone who's dancing with her, next to her. And if not dancing with her, at least accepting her and not feeling shame and embarrassment from her joy and her happiness and her lifestyle. And on the flip side, not everybody has to dance. Some people are more serious. So the man should have been paired up with someone who would have taken things more seriously, who would have followed his path and ideals in life. And I see all of the time, and that's why I went back to that comment, and I said I do promote dating. I think it's wonderful as long as it's done honestly. Most of dating, however, isn't done honestly anymore, and it's really a shame, because years ago, of course before my time, in a male-female relationship, the male would usually court the female, and they were lucky to even have a conversation with one another. There was not this, come over to my house, we'll get drunk, we'll have sex, and then the next day, whatever happens doesn't matter. We're not even looking that much in the future. And what was so great about courtship was the fact that you really had to question the fact of whether or not you really wanted to invest time in that person.
I'm afraid of trying to help him and show him that I care about him, and then going and breaking up with him, because that just makes it more difficult. Because then it's like, why is she breaking up with me if she cares so much about me? You know what I mean?
I completely understand, but you need to say that exact line to him. Say, listen, I want to help you. I want to be there for you. And I know it sounds hypocritical of me, because I also don't want to be in a relationship, but I genuinely do care for you and for your well-being, and I want to help you if you accept that help. And if you don't, there's nothing that I can do further for you. And that's a decision that you're making. And that's the way that you sever the ties of your attachment and your investment in it, because you are willing to offer yourself and your assistance and your help and your friendship for him. But at the same time, if he denies that, then you should not feel guilt. You should just move on.